much better.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
I'm delighted to honor the memory of Harry Carey. And to quote Harry, let me hear you. A one, a two, a three. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back. So let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For if 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Ah, the one and only Vin Scully singing the 7th inning stretch when the Dodgers were last in Chicago. Mark Guthrie, the new Dodger pitcher, is greeted rudely as Mickey Morandini singles off the glove of Eric Karros.
The thing that made this play was that Eric Karros came in thinking that Morandini might bunt the ball, and so that rifle shot skipped under the glove, and Mark Guthrie, on for the 11th time, has yet to give up an earned run in 8 1/3 innings, has the go-ahead run on first base for Sammy.
Yeah, their whole pen has been unbelievable. Haven't given up a run in 20 2/3 innings for the Dodgers. But the go-ahead run is at first with nobody out in the 6th. Darren Driver pitched well for the Los Angeles team. 5 innings, 5 hits, 6 punch-outs, 2 walks, and 2 runs. But now the game in the hands of the Dodger bullpen, as Sosa, Grace, and Brown do up next. And Sammy takes a strike. The Dodgers have Scott Radinsky, another left-hander, in their bullpen, and Bruschi, Klontz, Osuna, and Langford from the right side. And the Cubs, with all those left-hand hitters in the lineup, Bill Russell hoping to neutralize them here with the left-hander Guthrie. But a right-hander faces him now, the 0-1. Big, slow curveball.
Sammy has hit Guthrie very well, hitting .370, 1 for 1 this year. 10 for 27 with a couple of doubles over the course of his career. And there is the lead run as Brad Klontz loosens up in the pen. But you've got the 2 lefties up next in Grace and Brown.
No balls, 2 strikes. Mickey a good lead from first. Good block by Piazza, and he's hurt. 1 and 2.
Mike Piazza has gotten better at that aspect of the game, and that is blocking low pitches. Got a pretty good instructor on the bench in Mike Scioscia. And we'll watch go down on one knee, picks it off the chest protector, and Morandini frozen at first. And there's a look at Mike Scioscia, longtime Dodger catcher and longtime Dodger leader. He was like the Rock of Gibraltar behind the plate. One of the greatest men I've ever seen at blocking home plate.
Two-2 game in the Cubs 6th. Come on, Sammy, let's see if you can rip one again. An RBI double his first time up. They play him to pull this time against the left-hander. The 1-2. Ooh, jackknifes him out of the way.
Sammy remembers Guthrie from the American League when he threw with Minnesota, and Sammy was with the White Sox.
The 2-2. He waited back as long as he could and fouled it away.
Dodger pen has been second in the National League behind the San Francisco Giants, so they've been awfully tough.
The Padres have tied up Pittsburgh. Steve Finley's hit his 3rd homer of the year. Sterling Hitchcock's pitching that game for the Padres tonight. They've taken him out of the bullpen. Mark Langston's gone on the disabled list for the San Diego team. So as of now, they have nobody left-handed in the pen. Morandini back to first. We'll see the Padres starting Monday night. Kevin Tapani against Joey Hamilton. Tuesday, Mark Clark and Andy Ashby. Then an off day, we fly home and get ready to play the Cardinals.
It's going to be a very exciting series. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Big Mac, who hit his 10th home run today. All 4 of those games will be brought to you on WGN television.
Two balls, 2 strikes again to Sammy. That got a chunk of Piazza. Sosa stays alive.
Mark Grace has hit Guthrie well, 3 for 6 lifetime, so this looks to be a pretty good matchup for the Cubs.
The 2-2. Swung on, he missed it. High drive into left center field. And Cedeno's got it. He just missed getting that ball into the stands.
First baseman, number 17.
Sammy gets it
Mark
just
Grace.
out on the end of the bat. Just missed the sweet spot. He hit that one a mile high.
So 1 on, 1 out. Let's see if Grace can continue his good work against the Dodger left-hander here. Look how far around toward left they play him in center field.
Well, most lefty-lefty matchups, you look for that first ball fastball. That's what Mickey Morandini hit. And that's probably why Mark Grace has hit .500 against Guthrie. A lot of left-handers like to run the fastball in on the hands on the first pitch. And that's the ball you take and drill through the right side.
Mark 2 for 2 tonight with an RBI. As you see, clean shaven. He gets another hit. He may grab the clippers and shave the rest of the hair on top of his head. The pitch, a pitch out. High and tight. It's 2-0. Swung on, line hard, but foul down the first base line. Steve, you've seen Grace play a lot longer than I have, but it seems to me he's starting to see the ball much better. He's getting much better cuts today as opposed to the last week or so.
Well, this is the first night that Mark Grace has looked like Mark Grace. Had that batting average down to 280 coming in, and that's most un-Grace-like. Tonight he's turning at it. And if you want to stay out of the double play, it's a good time to run with Morandini. Mark's hit into 4 of them.
Not going. The pitch. 3 balls and a strike now. Left hand hitting Grant Brown, waiting to greet Guthrie next.
Mickey 2 for 2 in stolen bases, so let's see if he has the green light here on 3-1.
He's has got a very big lead at first. And Guthrie keeps him close. 2-2 game. Cubs hitting in the 6th. Darren Dreifert's worked 5 innings for the Dodgers. Jeremy Gonzalez still on for the Cubs. The runner goes 3-1, and Grace fouls it away. That'll scatter his mates in the Cub dugout. Now the count's full, 3-2. Guthrie, he's acting like he doesn't really want to throw it right now.
Going into his four-corner offense, slowing this game down, very deliberate. You know that Morandini is going to be going here, so you have to watch the good move at first.
Good lead. There he goes. Pitch, swing and a miss. Piazza's throw, short hops the bag. So Morandini steals second. Grace strikes out.
Morandini now 3 for 3. The Cubs 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts tonight.
Left fielder.
And Mark Grace on a 3-2 hook swings over it. Piazza gets off a terrible throw to second, so Morandini steals it easily, and he's the go-ahead run in scoring position for Brant Brown,
who has been one of the hot Cub hitters. He came in batting .364, but tonight has walked and has hit into a double play. A base hit means a run with the speedy Morandini now at second base. And a good hook there.
Well, you've got the outfield fairly shallow, and I'm kind of surprised that Cedeno is as shallow as he is and swung around toward left center. Brown's got some power. Best arm in the outfield, of course, is Mondesi in right, although he's not always accurate with it.
Cubs trying to gain ground on Milwaukee here tonight. The Brewers were beaten earlier. The Cubs at the moment 3 games out of first. The 0-1 to Brant. Bouncing ball weakly to the right side. That should retire the Cubs, and it does. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. To the bottom of the 6th we go in a 2-2 game. Well, that's not a full moon.
And the Cubs trying to get out behind the 8 ball and break this
I like that.
3-game losing skid.
Wilton Guerrero comes on to pinch hit for the pitcher Mark Guthrie and takes a quick strike from Jeremy Gonzalez.
We saw Guerrero as a left fielder, but now with Cedeno in the lineup, he's spending a little time on the bench. Hitting .290. Pretty good switch hitter.
0-2.
Usually left-handed, Guerrero likes to flick the ball into left or left center field. The only pitch he will pull is that breaking ball inside, and we've seen him go down the line with it.
And there's a huge gap in right center if he can put the ball into play in that direction. Look how far Lance is playing toward left.
Well, that's why you don't want to throw him too many off-speed pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Best thing to do if you're going to defend him this way is go hard away. And then he will hit you that soft fly ball to left or left center.
Jeremy Gonzalez has pitched very well tonight. Guerrero with a pinch hit single into left field. Johnson knocks the ball down. Guerrero will reach second.
I'm not real crazy about that sliding attempt to get the ball, because even if you come up with it, you're in no position to throw, and sliding makes it much more difficult to grab it. As we watch it again, there's the slide. Even if you get it, I'm not sure what you can do, and that slide allows it to bounce over the outstretched glove. So Guerrero winds up at second base.
So it scored a single and an error on Lance. And that is the correct call, in my opinion. So
Yes,
the go-ahead run at second base, nobody out in the top of the Dodger order now. Young is 0 for 2, bunts it foul. Now they change the scoring and rule it a double. So wipe away the air.
I'm kind of surprised that they'd be bunting with Young. He's a pretty good hitter and has enough control to hit the ball to the right side, but he does have one sacrifice this year, and that is the go-ahead run.
Cubs in at the corners, regular depth up the middle. Two runs, 5 hits for the Cubs. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. And now with the runner at second, Tyler Houston and Jeremy want to talk things over.
Jeff Blauser coming in to find out if perhaps they want to change the set of signs. You know, kind of interesting, Chip, a lost art in baseball, and I talked with Keith Hernandez when we were in New York. He said that the '84 Cubs were so adept at sign stealing that they actually had to change the signs every inning when they played the Cubs, that Met team against the '84 Cubs. They were giving both the signs and location from the base runner at second base. And so the catcher would go through a brand new set of signs, and they would change inning by inning to make sure that they weren't stolen. But the art of sign stealing has gone the way of the dodo bird. Kind of extinct at the big league level.
Young got the bunt down. Jeremy looked toward third. Nobody there. Close to first. It's off Young's back. Guerrero's going to score. Young heads towards second.
Well, Houston's got to make the play. There's no reason at all for Jeremy to even look at third base, because you know there's a good chance Jose Hernandez is going to come in with the bunt. Tyler Houston has got to take control. He's got to say first all the way, and that's where Gonzalez got himself in trouble. He looked to third, and of course there was nobody there. Hernandez was very close to him. That's the problem. And now, with a blind throw to first, he bounces it off the back of Young, and here comes Phil Regan. The go-ahead run is scored. It'll probably be ruled a sacrifice and an error. And this has not been a shining defensive inning for the Cubs.
So the Dodgers take the 3-2 lead. And the Cubs bullpen gets busy. Mark Pachota starts to loosen. A leadoff double by Guerrero in a pinch hit appearance. Young bunts him over. And then Jeremy throws the ball away. Looked toward third, then threw late to first.
The catcher has the play in front of him, and everything is unfolding. He knows where the third baseman is, and he's got to yell out the call immediately. And then the pitcher responds only to the voice of the catcher.
So the Dodgers threatening again here in the 6th. Still nobody out. And Cedeno, 0 for 2, is in the box. He shows Buck. Bunts it hard toward third. Only one play. And it's in time. Another sacrifice. This one 5-4. Runner to third, 1 out for Piazza and Orzeal.
Well, now I walk Piazza. I don't think there's any decision here, and try to set up the double play. But we'll see what Jim Riggleman has in mind. Piazza 0 for 2 tonight, but this is the man in the lineup that just kills you, and Riggs is going to put him on.
So Piazza will be intentionally passed. And Jeremy kind of lollipopped that first pitch up there. You better be careful.
The fans here, as you would expect, are booing the decision of Jim Riggleman. They want to see Piazza hit. I'd just as soon see him start hitting Monday when the Cubs leave. And every time you get a chance to pitch around this guy, that's what you do.
So there's the intentional walk. First and third, 1 out. And now it's up to Zeal if the Dodgers are to add to their 1-run lead. As Tyler Houston meets Gonzalez on the mound, we'll remind you our senior producer director of Cubs baseball is Arnie Harris. Tonight's game produced by the commander, Pete Toma. Our associate producer is Mark Brady, and the coordinating producer of Cubs baseball is Kim Fields.
Somewhat surprising with Todd Zeile, despite the fact that he doesn't run very well. He's only grounded into one double play. In this situation with Piazza at first, who doesn't run well, and Zeile at bat, on a ground ball, you should turn a pair and get out of the inning.
3-2 Dodger lead. And Jeremy gets ahead of it. Todd thought it was inside and maybe a little high. A big mistake defensively has cost the Cubs a run. Popped him up. Jeremy made the pitch he needed to make. And there's out number 2. And Zeile hears it as he heads to the Dodger dugout. And now it takes a 2-out hit from Mondesi if the Dodgers are to add to their 3-2 lead.
Driving home runners from third base with less than 2 outs is something that real good baseball teams do consistently. The Dodgers missed their opportunity, and let's see if the Cubs can shut the door here and end this inning just 1 run down.
Mondesi, a cannon shot his last time up. First and third, 2 outs. Good stop by Houston. He saved a run there. Look how quickly he moved to his right.
This one bounces well in front of home plate, and Tyler Houston dug it out of the dirt and kept the runners at first and third.
Young represents the go-ahead run. Piazza leads from first. A ball, no strikes. 2-0.
You know, Bill Russell had a talk with Mondesi after the home run, and I think he probably talked to him about that's the difference in hitting when you're ahead 2-0 in the count or behind because you swung at everything early. Well, he's ahead 2-0 once again. Last time in this count, Jeremy missed with one on the inner portion.
3 balls, no strikes.
And I'm sure Mondesi has a 3-0 green light. You get a man up behind him, Eric Karros, who just now off the disabled list, probably not swinging the bat quite as well as he will in a week or so. So you'd rather see Mondesi swinging at a 3-0 pitch.
He was taking, and Jeremy got it over.
Well, he threw a 3-0 curveball, and you've got to take that one and tip your hat to the pitcher and say, good pitch. Now let me see another.
Dodgers scored twice in the 5th. They've scored once here in the 6th. It's 3-2 now. So Piazza will get a head start from first. Eric Young remains at third. And Mondesi will face a payoff pitch.
I would throw him a breaking ball here and keep it down. I got to figure that Mondesi, very anxious after the home run last time, will be trying to expand that strike zone.
Piazza goes, swing and a miss. And Jeremy pitches himself out of big-time trouble in the 6th, and the decision to walk Piazza pays off. The Dodgers, however, do lead it 3-2.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi. Generation Next.
3-2. The Dodgers have taken the lead after 6. And the new Dodger pitcher is former Atlanta Brave right-hander Brad Klontz.
The 7th appearance for Klontz. He has yet to give up a run, a lot like Guthrie. He's been mighty tough. 6 in the 3rd inning. No hits. Couple of walks, 1 strikeout. And remember, the Cubs do have Henry Rodriguez healthy and on the bench for some late-game heroics.
Well, Jeff Blauser should know this man well, Brad Klontz. They were teammates with the Atlanta team. And Brad greets his buddy rather rudely with a quick strike. Opening up the 7th inning. 3-2. Dodgers have taken the lead here at home. It'll be Blauser, Houston, and Hernandez. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
The 1-1 to Jeff. He tries to bunt his way on, but fouls it away. We are at beautiful Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine. With Steve Stone, my name is Chip Carey with Arnie Harris, Pete Toma, our entire WGN crew tonight from Los Angeles. 2nd game of this 3-game series. The Cubs led it 2-0. Raul Mondesi tied it up with a long 2-run homer, and the Dodgers in the 6th have just taken a 1-run lead. And Blauser strikes out looking. A nasty pitch from Brad Klontz.
Well, this is the 22nd anniversary of the day that Rick Monday, then a Chicago Cubs center fielder, saved the flag here in Dodger Stadium. And Rick, now broadcaster with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he's done a great job for them. And he was quite a player for both the Cubs and the Dodgers, after coming up originally as the first player ever drafted with the Oakland Athletics.
Here's Tyler. He swings at a pitch sinking out of the zone and takes strike 1.
Klontz a lot like Dreifert in that he'll make his mistakes by getting the ball up. There's some pitchers you want to force him to get it down. You might remember Sid Fernandez when he was in the league. But with Dreifert, you have to wait for him to bring it up around belt high.
They got Klontz for nothing. The Braves just let him go.
Well, he wasn't throwing the ball like he's thrown it so far with the Dodgers, because he must have lost that sinker for a while. And right now, that sinker is alive and well.
Tyler sends a fly ball into shallow center, but it's going to be caught by Cedeno. 2 outs now.
Well, I think if Jose Hernandez can keep it alive, we'll probably see Henry.
3rd baseman, number 18.
They also have Sandy Martinez from the left side. Everybody else on the Cub bench, right-hand hitters. So we'll see if Jose can reach. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He's popped to shallow right, and he has struck out looking.
And there is Henry in the on-deck circle. He's loosening up.
One ball, no strikes. 3-2 Dodger lead. Cubs trying to avoid their 4th consecutive loss of the season. Broken bat toward the left side. Zeal gobbles it up. 360 spin. Good play. And Klontz works a 1-2-3-7. We go to the bottom half. Dodgers looking for some insurance. They have a 3-2 lead. A huge crowd here tonight at Dodger Stadium as Eric Carroll stands in, opening up the Los Angeles 7th inning. A sellout crowd, 53,755 on hand to see the Cubs and Dodgers battle in Game 2 tonight.
Jeremy Gonzalez knows this is going to be his last inning of work, and he wants to finish it with a flourish.
1-1.
And with utter disregard for your digestive tract, you have already downed a Dodger dog.
Might be the last of the year.
Bullpen up and going.
I just want to make sure that quality control is up to snuff.
And how did you find the Dodger dogs this evening?
I'd have to give it a C minus. And Carroll fouls that off.
Terry Mulholland throwing in the bullpen for the Cubs, and he's been terrific out of the pen. And there's a look at Terry.
Jeremy Gonzalez has pitched very, very well tonight, but his mistake, the difference in the game. Throwing error that led to a Dodger run. The go-ahead run they scored in the 6th.
Garros has been a little tardy on the fastball tonight. And it should take him a few days to get that timing back. He was tearing it up in the Grapefruit League until he had to have knee surgery.
And he strikes out to open up the 7th. That's 9 strikeouts from Jeremy tonight.
Left fielder, number 28.
Throws that one right by Karros, and he has a seat.
Hollingsworth.
Have to be careful on the first pitch to Hollingsworth. He hasn't taken too many and usually reserves that one to take his healthiest cut.
So a career night for Gonzalez in the strikeout department. His previous high was 7 against the Reds last June. He has 9 already in the 7th. And he's ahead of Hollingsworth, 0-2. Pitches like this kid's going to win a lot of games.
Well, he's got a good arm, and he's had very good breaking stuff tonight. So whatever mechanical problems he's had, he has certainly worked them out.
He gets Hollingsworth, 10 strikeouts. And he just carved him up.
Well, that is 3 strikeouts in a row for Todd Hollingsworth.
Shortstop, number 10.
Now,
That was a nasty breaking ball.
Now, is that the golden or the platinum sombrero?
I've heard it called the golden sombrero.
So 4, I guess.
Or it could be the silver chalice, depending on what your terminology would be. The golden sombrero being 4 strikeouts.
Vizcaíno bats with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2. He's been punched out once. Scott Radinsky limbering up for the Dodgers.
They've got pretty much a closer by committee between Antonio Osuna and Scott Radinsky. They will try to close with either of them. So gone are the days where they had the Mike Marshalls of the world or the Todd Worrells when he was good here.
A ball and a strike. That looked like a changeup, but he missed with it. 2-1.
Well, you would think that regardless of what happens, Clance will not hit for himself, although he's in the on-deck circle.
2-2.
And I would think with a pinch hitter due, and then Johnson and Morandini, even if Clance does go to the mound, Bill Russell will wait till the pinch hitter is announced and then probably bring in Radinsky if Sandy Martinez or Henry Rodriguez are the pinch hitters.
Weekly to the right side. Grace gobbles it up. And Jeremy Gonzalez works a 1-2-3-7. The kid's pitched a great game. He's punched out 10 Dodgers. Now his offense has to come to the rescue as he trails by a 1-run.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
10 strikeouts for Jeremy, but Steve, the Ameritech play that makes the difference certainly did so in tonight's game in Los Angeles.
And it's on a bunt play as Jeremy Gonzalez comes in. That's Eric Young laying down the bunt. Jeremy looks at third, but nobody's there. Then without looking, he snaps the throw to first base, hits Eric Young in the back. It scored the go-ahead run, and that is your Ameritech playbook. The catcher should be calling that play, and we're not sure if he did or not.
Manny Alexander comes on to pinch hit now as he faces Clance in the 8th. Cubs need a run. It's 3-2 Los Angeles. 101 pitches for Jeremy, 10 strikeouts tonight.
Manny started the game last night. Singled and scored a run in the 7th. Went 1 for 4. The Cubs could use him aboard here ahead of Johnson, Morandini, and Sosa. Radinsky continues to throw in the pen.
0-1 to Manny. 0-2 now.
Clontz now in 7 1/3 innings of work this year, covering 7 appearances, has yet to give up a hit. Let's see if that one goes by the boards with Manny.
He is due. Not that time. Second Clontz a strikeout. 1 out in the 8th.
0-2, a sweeping breaking ball, and there's no doubt that whatever Brad Clontz had lost from the Braves, he has found it here in Los Angeles, and that's going to be it for Clontz. And let's see in the flip-flop batting order who the Dodgers decide, and they want Radinsky. And let's see if there are any other changes.
Yeah, Hollingsworth's going to come out of the game, and Trinidad Hubbard's going to take over in left. So Hubbard will come on to play left field, and hard-throwing left-hander Scott Radinsky will come on and face the top of the Cub order. 1 out, bases empty in the 8th. We'll be right back.
There ain't nobody here but us chickens.
Well, Jeremy Gonzalez, 10 strikeouts tonight at Dodger Stadium. Last time he faced Los Angeles, made some great defensive plays in self-defense.
Well, it's a collage of defense. All 3 of them knocked him down, and the 4th one then knocked off the glove. But he made all those plays, and ironically, it was a play tonight he didn't make. That's been the difference in this game. Scott Radinsky comes in and on for the 7th time, 1.23 ERA, a 1-0 record, and as you can see, this Dodger bullpen, second in the league, is just about as good as it gets, with Chicago and Trinidad Hubbard coming into the ball game, and they'll flip-flop the batting order, and a fine performance for Jeremy Gonzalez tonight, and the Cubs are hoping that it's not in vain.
So Radinsky faces Johnson. Lance 2 for 4 against the Dodger left-hander in his lifetime. Cubs need base runners. They need a run. It's 3-2 LA. Lance with a run back in the 4th, singled, stole a base as well. Weak ground ball to short. That'll be easy. And it is. So 2 outs. And now Mickey Morandini will bat.
Number 12.
Of all the Cubs, he's had the best luck. Morandini 3 for 7 with a double. He's walked 3 times as well against Radinsky.
Well, Todd Zeile doesn't know those numbers, and he believes that Morandini's going to bunt, so he's in on the grass and guarding the line.
You've got Sosa on deck. Morandini would love to get on and give Sammy a chance to put the Cubs in front. Oh, and 2. This guy's like a pitching machine.
Well, Bill Russell knows that the one thumper left on the bench from the left side is Henry Rodriguez, so Radinsky looks to be around a while.
That just missed. It's 1-2. Radinsky, of course, in 1994 spent the entire season on the disabled list battling Hodgkin's disease. What a courageous comeback he has made. A little fister toward a second. And the Dodger bullpen continues to sparkle. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. We go to the bottom half. Los Angeles still protecting a 1-run lead.
WB.
3-2 Dodgers looking for some insurance here in their half of the 8th inning. And Cubs fans, plenty of good seats are still available for games throughout the 98 season, and Wrigley Field's a great place to spend your summer, so mark your calendars now. For tickets, stop by the Wrigley Field box office, Ticketmaster, or call by phone 312-831 Cubs. Mark Pachota is on to pitch the 8th. Ah, you can't beat cotton candy.
One of my faves. A dentist's delight as Mark Pachota comes on. A brilliant stint out of the pen on for the 13th time. He's been the busiest man around.
And that went all the way to the backstop nearly. Stabbed by Tyler Houston, whose left sleeve will be an inch longer tomorrow. Trinidad Hubbard, then Young, then Cedeno in the Dodgers' 8th. The Cubs in the 9th will have the heart of their order up.
And it's essential, the way the Dodger bullpen has been, that you hold them right here. Make it a one-run game going into that 9th inning.
Hit hard. And foul. A ball, 2 strikes. Our next game on WGN. A big series starting at Wrigley Field Thursday night. Mark McGuire, Ron Gant, Ray Lankford, and the rest of the St. Louis Cardinals invade Wrigley Field. Join us at 7:05 for the first of all 4 games against the Cardinals here on WGN. 1-2 to Hubbard. Little chopper toward short. Blauser in, up, across. Good play. The all-important leadoff man down in the 8th, and Blauser continues his steady play at short.
Good effort by Blauser as he aggressively comes and gets it and guns down Hubbard by a step.
Dodger leadoff man now, Eric Young. It was his sacrifice attempt and the subsequent Gonzalez error that scored the go-ahead run for Los Angeles.
There's only been 8 hits in this ball game. The Cubs have 5 of them. The Dodgers have been held to just 3. But they lead by a run.
Right through there. Steve Traxel gets the ball tomorrow. He'll have his hands full against Mr. Ramon Martinez. It's 2-1.
You can't walk Young. He is the running attack for the Dodgers. They don't run often, but when they do, it's Eric Young doing the running.
2-2. Young stolen 7 bases in 9 drives.
This entire Dodger team has stolen just 12.
That's low, full count now. Three balls, 2 strikes to Eric Young. Hit hard toward third. Jose, 360 spin, good throw. You sure that's not a cesta he's got in his left hand? Everything seems to find the leather over third.
Well, Jim Riggleman believes that if Jose played third every day, he would play it as well as anybody in this league, and he makes a fine play here, retiring Young. And that means if you do retire Cedeno, you don't have to face Piazza heading into the 9th.
Cedeno 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. And a quick strike from Mark. Mariners bullpen bit them badly tonight. After tying the game 2-2 after 8, Minnesota put a 6 spot on them in the 9th and won 8-2 at the Kingdome. He went around. It's 0-2. Texas beat Kansas City 11-8. White Sox over Toronto 8-1 in Chicago. Anaheim 7 over Tampa Bay 1. Yankees beat Detroit 5-4 at the Bronx. Baltimore 8, Oakland 2 in Baltimore, and Boston 1 at Cleveland 3-2. Here at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles leading 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. One ball, 2 strikes. It's 2-2.
Well, Mark Machota just want to make sure that Roger Cedeno didn't get all that close to this next slider coming up. He just brushed him back. Let's see if the slider is forthcoming. No, that looked like a fastball.
It was, and it's popped up weakly down the third base line. Jose on the run. Backhand grab. He made the play. Oh, baby, what a grab in foul ground. He's made two spectacular defensive efforts here in the 8th inning. So the Dodgers go 1-2-3 in the 8th. We head to the 9th. The Cubs need one to tie at Dodger Stadium. Jim Bruschi in that Dodger bullpen if necessary. It's Radinsky against Sosa in the Cubs' 9th. 3-2. Dodgers have the lead. Sosa, Grace, and Brown for the Cubs. And Sammy takes low. What's he done against this guy?
0 for 4, and he's fanned a couple of times, but that is irrelevant in this at-bat, and they play him very deep and all the way around, and Sammy been hitting the ball pretty well lately. Odds are that Radinsky will try to stay away. That fastball moves away from the right-handers, and Sammy's been wearing out right center.
He doubled home the first Cub run in the 4th, and he pops that ball up. Piazza might have a play, and he will. 1 out.
That was quite a pitch in on the hands of Sosa, and very little he could do with it.
First baseman, number 17.
There's Jim Bruschi in the Dodger pen, and let's check out, Steve, who's cleaning up in baseball, brought to you by Hoover.
Doug Jones, as you see, with 8 saves. Rod Beck with 7. They're atop the leaderboard.
So Radinsky a chance for one here tonight, but he's got Grayson Brown to deal with first. And that sails away to Mark, 1-0. Grace has a couple of hits. Don't forget after the game, the WGN News with Jackie Bang and Bob Jordan. We appreciate them hanging in with us as our game works into the 9th in Los Angeles.
It's going to be Kevin Ory who's going to pinch hit. At least be announced, and then the ball will be in Bill Russell's corner. And there's a look at Kevin.
Because the Cubs have Henry waiting in the wings if necessary, too. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mark. He'd love to get on and have somebody pop one here. Grace has had a good game. It's nice to see him hitting the ball hard again. A couple of hits and RBI. Two and two.
There's no doubt that regardless of what happens with Mark Grace, if you send up Ory, they're going to let Radinsky face him because they want to leave Henry right on the bench.
Bouncing ball to second. Young should handle that. He does. 2 down. So Ory will be announced here. He'll pinch hit for Brant Brown and represents the final Cubs hope.
Your catcher, please. For the Cubs. Now batting for Brown.
Ory against Radinsky. 1 for 2 lifetime.
Ory.
And this is his first pinch hitting attempt this year, but he's hit a home run. He's driven in 9. And he got Jeff Blauser in the on-deck circle.
But Kevin has been fighting a mighty slump. He is 2 for his last 20.
Radinsky bidding for save number 4. It would be the 6th for the entire Dodger bullpen.
And that misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Jeremy Gonzalez could be the tough luck loser tonight. Ory squibs that one foul past first to even the count 1-1. Three to 2 Dodgers. Bases empty, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The Cubs 1 out away from their 4th consecutive loss. The 1-1. Broken bat, bloop to first. Karros has it. And the Dodgers have taken 2 in a row from the Cubs. 3-2 the final score. The Dodger bullpen continues its amazing run. And one mistake defensively costs the Cubs in a very briskly played game at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers beat the Cubs 3-2 your final score. Back with totals and highlights right after this.
Next on your post-game edition of WGN News, the President, Paula Jones, and Hollywood stars attend tonight's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Paula Jones steals the show. Did Jones and the President meet face-to-face? We've got details. Plus, hundreds grabbed their skill saws and hammers to help those in need. We'll tell you how it was like Christmas in April. And we've got the real Cinderella story. We'll tell you how one fairy godmother is making dreams come true for some teens headed to the prom. WGN News is next.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
If you use Right Guard, we challenge you to try new Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant with odor-absorbing baking soda. Its unique formula is proven to work better than Right Guard to stop odor all day. New Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant. Better all-day protection. Much better.
Troy Aikman is back to pass. He's looking, look out. Oh, Aikman goes down.
He had a man wide open. What was he thinking?
Brute, it's all part of the game.
All right, guys. Same play.
This is the interior of the burliest sport utility in its class. The one that can tow and carry more than any other. Now that's probably hard to believe when you're surrounded by all this. So to underscore the new Dodge Durango's serious credentials, I'm not only standing beside the most powerful V8 in the class, I'm wearing this manly flannel shirt. Durango. New ground for the new Dodge.
I've been waiting for this.
We all have.
Here it comes.
Southwest Airlines introduces another way to New England with new service to Manchester, New Hampshire for just $90.
We'd like to remind you, Southwest never serves airline food.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you use Right Guard, we challenge you to try new Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant with odor-absorbing baking soda. Its unique formula is proven to work better than Right Guard to stop odor all day. New Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant. Better all-day protection. Much better.
With all this action, you can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams. But we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
Here is tonight's Budweiser play of the game. Jeremy Gonzalez was perfect through 4. Second time through, not quite so friendly after a Todd Zeal single. Raul Mondesi crushed a 2-0 pitch deep into the seats in left center field. That was Mondesi's third homer of the year. It tied the game at 2. Dodgers go on to win it by a final score of 3-2. Mark Guthrie, the winner. He's 1-0. Gonzalez, the loser, 1-3. Scott Radinsky, his 4th save. We're with you again on WGN when the Cubs entertain the St. Louis Cardinals from Wrigley Field. First game of a 4-game set starting Thursday night at 7:05. Kerry Wood will be the starting pitcher for the Cubs in that series opener from Wrigley Field. The losing streak for the Cubs has reached 4. The Cubs offense really sputtering. 9 runs now in 40 innings, and hopefully tomorrow, as we wrap up this 3-game series, they'll discover the magic as they battle a very tough Ramon Martinez. Stay tuned for the news. It's coming up in just a moment. For Steve Stone and our entire crew, this is Chip Carey. Thanks for joining us from Los Angeles. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.